UFO researchers dare not tread many of them at this point.
All right, Jason is back. What's up, Alejandro?
Hey.
Hey. Sorry. Thank you. Thanks for picking it up. Sorry.
I restarted the recording for you, Jason.
Thank you.
Do you want me to stop it so you can record it on your end?
No, you go ahead. We'll get the same recording. So just get it on speaker view and pass it back.
Someone said they missed what was the book I was referring to. That book is called Skinwalker at the Pentagon, written by Lakatsky, Colm Kelleher, and George Knapp. Colm Kelleher and George Knapp were the ones who wrote the original Skinwalker book, Hunt for the Skinwalker, in 2005. And I guess I can change my camera view so people can, or will it let me see what the crowd's at here.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that. And I got a ebook version or e-copy version of the book. Looking forward to it.
There we go.
Pretty.
There's the other people on the street.
Those are the people on the street. Any good costumes and floats? How's the parade?
I don't know. I haven't really seen much of the costumes. I guess there are some decent ones. Some guy just walked by with a cowboy hat with a aluminum halo. I'm not sure what that's to represent, but that's interesting. If you can see here, looks like a father and daughter. Actually, it looks more like a grandpa and granddaughter dressed up in Men in Blacks. That's pretty cute.
Nice.
That's funny.
But yeah, lots of fun, crazy UFO-ness going on.
Nice. What did you get hounded by people asking some good questions?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely. What's great about these events, and in fact, in a way, did my camera turn off? In a way, I like these events even better. Oh, now it's going the right. There we go. Now
Kind of fuzzy. I think you got to wipe off your lens on your other side. I love it live in action. We don't hide anything here, anybody.
No. But yeah, I definitely had some good questions. I think what's interesting is these people have no clue. So they love, hearing, they're really fascinated by all of it. And yeah, I guess I can't think of any questions that stand out, but what I love about these kind of festival crowds, to be honest, I like them better than UFO conference crowds, because UFO conference goers are often, they have a set view, an idea about this topic, and when people come to a festival like this, they're more just loosely interested and don't have a set worldview and how things are. So they're more open to all of the different research and ideas. So they have great questions that way. Plus, there's such a variety of life experiences that these people have that they bring to the table, which are always really interesting, like sometimes military, sometimes law enforcement, or what have you. And then, so that's why I like the questions at these kind of things. It's not usually, well, what about Dan Burrish, who talked to the Eben and the bottom of S4? Kind of weird crap like that. And then I've got to break their heart by totally debunking something like that. Although I can tell you an interesting story about last night. I got into kind of a little thing with Robert Salas on stage about MJ-12, but and people were pretty mad at him because they felt he was being really rude. But anyways, I guess he's just become a grumpy guy for some reason. I don't know why. But you know, we were cool afterwards. Luckily, he seems to be okay. But you know, that's the kind of set attitude that you find at conferences more, and people are more combative, I think, at those kind of events than the general public here, who is just more curious, and in some cases curious and skeptical, which I very much appreciate, to be honest. And you know, I don't mind if someone's like feels that we have to prove something to them, because they're right. You know, we need to have proof and evidence, and we need to be rigorous, and we need to be in our research, and we need to prove our case. And I think that's fair for people to ask for us to do that.
Agreed, 100%. More of
no
that.
research by proclamation, like
Yeah.
Sanskrit used to say.
And it does seem like that's probably, it's a really good gauge of kind of the general public, right? The general attitude versus the UFO folk.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, I want to get here. Front of the museum. I don't know if I'll be able to. I'll get it later for you
The
guys.
camera's still pretty blurry.
Oh, you know what? Oh, you got some kind of filter on there, Alejandro.
Yep. You've got a filter on.
I don't know how to adjust it.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure how to deal with that on a phone either. Yeah, because you're perfect. You're clear. You're perfect. We can see you just fine. It's the blurred background.
Like that. I don't think I have a filter. I didn't try to put a filter.
No. Your background is blurred. Give me just a second. Because the app is different. So go to your video settings if you can and see if there's an option for blur background.
There it is.
There it is. Now, okay. That made all
Yeah.
the world of difference. Now
That's
we can actually see the
wonderful.
screen.
Oh, so it was blurring everything.
Yes. We were thinking your camera had gunk on it.
Yeah, that's why I was like, wash off your lens, Alejandro.
Well, luckily there's no lack of interesting people to see at any moment. Let's see.
Yeah.
In fact, those people are kind of boring, but we got some good people here. But yeah, it's pretty packed. The parade was not as big as usual because it was kind of a last-minute addition. I guess they were gonna not do one at the last minute. They decided to do one this morning, right before my talk. So it was kind of funny because there was no one in my talk until like 2 minutes before it started. Everybody started flooding in from the parade. So thank goodness the parade finished before my talk. But it was a much smaller parade than usual. But there's let's see if I wish I could zoom in and stuff, because there's an alien on an ostrich over there. Oh, it's a road rush. I don't know if you can see that.
An alien on an ostrich. Yeah, I understand. There's how about the museum? Doesn't the museum have some cool stuff?
Oh yeah, the museum. Too bad it's just too dang loud in there. But maybe this is kind of the end of your thing, huh?
Yeah. This is.
What else do you have planned for the rest? Like, what else are you going to see there, Alejandro?
I can send you pictures. I'm not going to see much. I'm just going to see the inside of the museum, because I've got to be in there talking to people. In fact, I should be in there working on my next talk and some other work stuff. But yeah, so I'm just going to be swamped with work and everything. So, but I'll be hosting or moderating the Roswell panel tonight. And then we'll have another government panel, government kind of secrecy panel this evening. And, these panels are fun. And the reason why Salas, I think, responded the way he is that, on this panel we have myself, Brian Bender, who of course is a Politico mainstream journalist, but he's been embedded with the defense industry for decades. We've got David Marler, a great researcher, Robert Salas, who of course is one of the primary witnesses at the Maelstrom Air Force Base event, which is a very credible one. And then we have Lou Elizondo, who used to run the ATIP Pentagon program. And it's just, most of us on this panel are not very conspiratorial, especially in that aspect. But then again, we're also very well versed because we've done, a huge amount of research and investigation on this issue, more so than most. I mean, all of us, not just, of course, Lou, who is in the government, but Brian Bender, who's been covering the government, a journalist like him, that's his job, is to look for the secrets and reveal what he can. And then, of course, Marler, who's an incredible researcher. It's not like we're making assumptions and basing our opinions off of some kind of unjustified or unsubstantiated belief. We're making our opinions off of the very hard investigation and research that we've done, looking at tons of documents and interviewing many, many people. And so this is just where we've come to at this time. And some people were a little, even Salas certainly was as well, when they asked, do you guys believe in Roswell? And for most of us, it's like, we don't know what to make of Roswell completely. It's an open case. It's certainly not
nothing definitive,
foregone conclusion, like many believe.
Is it general, do you feel, Alejandro, do you feel like the general consensus is starting to be like, okay, let's actually start sharing information? Like, is that actually going to start moving forward, do you think, from, you hanging out with all these other humans?
You mean government-wise?
Yeah, I've both sectors, like government and then, the citizens.
Okay.
Like, do you think they're actually working?
I think that we will see more cooperation between mainstream organizations and the researchers who are open to that. I think, unfortunately, a lot of UFO researchers aren't open to that. They're very territorial and don't appreciate all of the mainstream attention and involvement. I feel the opposite. I feel like finally we're getting the resources that we need, and expertise, more importantly, maybe, that we need finally to make real discoveries. Although we're hearing a lot from the government now, I don't think we should expect that much more going forward, because it's the nature of the military and intelligence and dealing with national security issues that a lot of that sort of thing is secretive. So I think when we're looking for answers and who's going to give us more answers, it's going to be the private sector. But the good thing is that the right parts of the private sector are getting involved. So we do have more professors. We have more support from the institutions or the universities that they work for. We have, of course, NASA now joining in. And, I think they're paying more than just lip service at this point. The director of NASA is definitely into this topic. And from what I hear, he's had his own sort of experience, or like the other Congress people who have been briefed by like naval intelligence, they're very impressed by what they see, and they what they've seen, which we don't even know all of what they've seen because it's classified, has convinced all of them. Any of the senators or that have been briefed, none of them have come out of those briefings saying there's nothing to this. In fact, all of them have come out of those briefings saying that, there's really something here that we need to look into. So hopefully one day we'll find out what all they they were briefed on, because it sounds like it's pretty important or pretty extraordinary. But I think, yeah, it's the private sector, hopefully scientific organizations like the SCU, and then hopefully other people that we can partner with better resources and programs like what I'm working on. The company I work with is going to have an app out soon that's going to have tons of preloaded UFO sightings in it. And it'll be something that an app people can use to report UFOs. But even more importantly, we're using AI to evaluate those cases, and we're going to be able to do some pattern analysis to make some discoveries on the nature of the phenomenon.
Say it, Jason.
Well, I was just going to say that the question of needing an app has come up earlier, and there have been some folks who have...
The question of what?
The question of, or the need for an app for UFOs has been presented here today. And Heidi's used an app that had some interesting kind of data in it, but I think whatever you're working on is probably pretty a little more involved, a little more advanced, just from what I know about what you're doing now. And if you would, maybe if you're able to, can you share with folks a little bit more about your new thing, your new job?
I guess just that. It's an app. The important thing about our app, I think when we launch, we'll probably have the largest and most complete database of UFO sightings internationally, just because we've spent a lot of time. Went that Harley, you guys probably saw it, but we've spent a lot of time working with organizations and groups internationally to gather that data. And the reason that's important is that right off the bat, you'll be able to use our AI to, you'll be able to do two things. You'll be able to see where sightings are, but the most important is that, of course, as we know, only a small percentage of sightings are actual unknowns. And our AI, and this is what everybody is seeking to do, at least at the higher levels, is develop an AI to scrub this data accurately. And that's what the real heart of what we're doing, because then your cases will be rated, and you'll be able to look at just the top rated cases, which should be more accurate as to, the nature of the phenomenon. So that's the biggest part of it. But you'll also be able to look at cases at all kinds of different cross sections, which will be important. And then also, we're very well funded by, and we are mostly a startup software company and ran by people who have done that before. So I think that our penetration or our, adoption by the public we'll be able to get out the word much more broadly than people have been able to do before, just because of the resources that we have. So I think that we'll really be able to turn this app into the primary UFO reporting place in a short period of time. And then beyond that, we do have a lot of government contacts, because they're also very interested in using our AI to scrub their classified files.
Nice. There you go.
I can't wait to tell everybody about that when it's ready, Alejandro.
Yeah, we just went into beta. In fact, I could probably get some of you, if you want to email me, onto the beta at some point, because we're trying to roll out the beta to a lot of people like you all who have been into this topic, who would know what kind of things you want to see on an app like this. So yeah, I could probably get you on the beta, so you could test that. We're looking to fully launch hopefully in September, October timeframe.
So will we be able to upload like say I got a picture of a craft on top of a mountain? True story.
Yes.
Like, will I be able to upload
Exactly.
it and see what the AI says?
Yeah, you'll be able to upload cases. You'll be able to upload signings. And a big part of what we want to do is, you'll be able to upload them real time. And let's say someone's seen something near you, you'll be notified so that you can look outside, see if you see it too, and then possibly get your own pictures and photographs. And if you use your phone to take a picture or a video, then that'll be uploaded to the app, and then we'll have all that telemetry. So we'll be able to know the angle your phone was at, the direction your phone was pointing, from the data that your phone provides, and hopefully we'll be able to do things like triangulation. If there's a sighting, like let's say San Diego sighting last week, of course, turned out to be flares, but what would have been really helpful is all the witnesses, if they would upload pictures, and then we would have been able to triangulate exactly where those flares were. So there's a lot of speculation. They were over land, they were over water. I know for a fact because I live by the beach and I was at the water, so I know it was much further out into the water where the training grounds are. Whereas a lot of people were saying it was over land. It certainly wasn't. But of course, people who are inland, that's what it looks like to them. But I was on the beach, so I know that it was over the water and over the training area. But, even then that's helpful, because then we can, instead of everybody fighting, oh, it's over water, no, it's over land, we would be able to triangulate that very quickly and know exactly where it was.
That's very exciting.
It is extremely exciting. I can't say how excited I am. My job on this, by the way, is head of research and content. So I'm developing a Wikipedia where on UAP. So we've got some amazing writers who are writing great pieces on all of the important UAP groups out there, and sightings and people. I think that people are going to love these articles. We're going to continue to write articles as the app is rolled out. We'll have a podcast or two that we'll be hosting, but we're also putting other podcasts on there. And then my other job as, the UFO guy of the group is keeping up our relations with different organizations and researchers, and hopefully getting people on our app early. And maybe we could even have a CSS kind of area or community where you guys can get on early. So when we launch, you've already got a community on there, because we want more, to preload it with communities that we know are serious and professional, that aren't like the trolls or hoaxers or anything like that.
Cool. That's really exciting. And I would definitely appreciate being a part of that. So definitely keep us posted about that. Beyond the AI, I have a quick question about the app though. Beyond the AI evaluation, is there anybody that's doing like further like specialized research for the really interesting cases?
I'm not sure what you mean by that, although
Or
I guess it's a tool for people doing specialized research. At the SCU, for example, we're doing a similar sort of thing where we've manually scrubbed, all of the cases from mostly New Fork and Blue Book, very credible early databases, to find the best cases and run numbers off of that. Why is that important? Mostly just to say, hey, UAP Task Force or AIMSOG, if you just look at your own files, you've got a lot of data in there that can be analyzed and can be revelatory, and provide credible, leads for you in your investigations. One of the things that we have found, one of the areas we've looked in with that data, now that we have our database finally scrubbed, which took a couple of years, is nuclear facilities. And one of the things that our early results are showing is nuclear facilities don't necessarily have higher UFO sightings than other sites. Of course, there's been a few really important incidences. However, we have found that nuclear facilities that developed weapons, when new weapons were being developed, did have higher sightings, and in some cases much higher sightings than the control locations that we used. And those control locations were nearby military facilities and nearby population centers. So that's really interesting, because that could indicate that this phenomena is interested when we're developing new atomic weapons, more so than anything else.
Whoa, dude.
Yeah. So what our app is going to be able to do, and what we're excited to do, luckily, because I'm on the board with SEU, and really we're positioning this app as kind of a scientific tool as well. It's a great partnership. So hopefully our tool will be able to do a similar evaluation and come up with similar results. And then if that's the case, we'll really be onto something.
Can you really quick explain a little bit more about what SCU is for those folks who might not be aware?
Sure. Yeah, the SCU is the Scientific Coalition for UAP Studies. It's a group made up of scientists, former military, law enforcement, and engineers, mostly scientists and engineers, who want to, investigate this issue in a scientific manner. And, we were kind of a smaller group to begin with. It really was, MUFON had decided to, kind of deprioritize science. And so a lot of scientists were going to be leaving. This group we had put together to investigate a case of mostly MUFON leadership, including Robert Powell, who ran the scientific board for MUFON. But with that switch and with the scientists leaving, Robert was like, I don't want to lose these guys. They really want to do work in this field. Why don't we just create a separate science focused group? And so that's what we did. So, yeah, I think we've been doing a lot of kind of exciting things. It's slow going. Good science takes a lot of time and work, but we're getting that work in. And, besides the nuclear evaluation, we're also taking that data to do what's called a characteristic study to kind of give, at least out of that group of data, different shapes and sizes and stuff like that, that we can determine about the craft. And let's see, we're doing USO studies. We're doing transmedium propulsion type of studies. We've already got, of course, some analysis papers out on the Aguadilla case and the Nimitz case. And in fact, with the Nimitz case, because we haven't really seen the government's investigation on that case, our evaluation of the Nimitz case is what's being passed around in Washington, D.C. and in serious circles, because it's the only evaluation that's been done. So I think that demonstrates just the value of a group like ours and the respect that our group is given by insiders who are excited about our Nimitz evaluation and want to pass it around to their colleagues.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Really appreciate your time here. I want to have, you've got to get going and you've got a lot of work to do here. So I really appreciate you taking your time out of your busy day to chat with us. I want to give a quick opportunity for anybody sitting in the room here to ask questions if you'd like. Just put your hand up or pop it in the chat. Either way, if anybody's got any questions for Alejandro, now's your moment.
There we go.
There's Alejandro.
Down the street, Roswell, New Mexico.
Anybody?
I was gonna stop by at the first shop so you could see what's behind me, because usually it's an alien, but this time it's Jesus. Hi, Jesus. Let's see.
Hey, one person's alien is another person's Jesus.
There. There is speculation, right?
There is.
I've heard things.
God. All I know is I can't wait to help you with that app, Alejandro. You should get
Yeah,
it
that's
in the hands
fun.
of experiencers, like all the people who already have like this, they come hang out over their places and stuff. Those people.
Well, here's why we won't be doing that anytime soon.
All right.
Because we are really working with a lot of like high profile money people, politicians, government agencies. So we're being very, very careful about not scaring them off. But
Oh.
is I think that sort of thing is going to be inevitable because, a lot of these government people who are getting involved with this have experiences. They just haven't shared that publicly. And it feels like I'm learning almost every so often that, hey, you know why that person's involved? Because they had an experience. They'll never share that publicly, but they share it with some people. And some people feel that I'm going to be, that they can share that information with me and I'm not going to share it elsewhere.
You're safe.
Yeah. There's that stigma is still around.
But the good thing is that stigma will also, I think, fall. That I think that will become more of the. Oh, look. I found an alien.
Hi. Why
are you here joining us? We're having a great time.
All right. Well, we're all over the world. We would love to.
I am, yeah. At the museum. At the museum. I'm one of the speakers there. Yeah. Oh, Elizondo. Yeah, I bought him. He's my buddy. He's at the table next to me.
Do we just make a friend?
Yeah. Just make a friend. Sorry about that.
No.
But,
no, that is why you're there.
Yeah, exactly. It's what I'm paid for.
Cool. Okay, so again, another round. Anybody have any other questions? Because we are just about out of time. I am kind of. Are we on our way to the museum right now?
No, I'm on my way to Subway. In fact, before I get in trouble.
Oh, you didn't eat yet.
Yeah.
Okay. No, we got to let you go. You got to feed yourself.
Life in the fast lane, Alejandro.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, thank you so much again.
Oh, yeah. A pleasure. Thanks for having me. Good to talk to you all.
Yeah.
Talk to you later. Bye, Heidi.
Bye. See you soon.
Tell everybody and give Karen our regards and all that good stuff.
Will do.
All right. All right.
Music for you.
Thank you. And I guess we can do a quick plug for those before we end the recording. Do you want to take it, Heidi?
A plug for ourselves or other people?
Just that was yeah. No, okay. That was Alejandro Rojas with Open Minds, the International UFO Congress. He is in the SCU. He's at the Roswell UFO Festival today for International UFO Day. And we are the Crypto Science Society, dedicated to studying all manner of strange and unusual phenomenon. We appreciate your time and thank you for staying with us. Keep questioning and look us up. Paracryptology on Linktree. And
all right, I stopped the recording.
Okay.
I think.
Thanks. This has been fun. Been real interesting.
It won't let me stop.
It won't let you?
Oh, wait. Is that it? I keep hitting the button, stop recording.
Oh, I